We moved to Christchurch to live and work, and after 3 months we arrived, there was an earthquake. We had no job, we didn't know how we were going to survive here. We were stuck in Littleton. We didn't even have money for petrol to drive 10 minutes to Christchurch. So we started selling food in a farmer's market. We started doing private dinners and pop-ups. We were cooking out of somebody else's cafes, and then they decided to turn it into a bar. That same day that we lost the space in the cafe, we found Roots as a space for us. We took a chance and signed the lease that could have been a death sentence of $3,000 a month. We didn't know how we were going to make it, but we believed it. If we had no idea and we focused on that idea, then we could make something happen. We just had plan A. We never had plan B. When we decided to start Roots Restaurant. So we opened it. People came for the first few months because it was summer, but then nobody came, and nobody came for a whole year. During that time, we discovered a real food community around us. Then in 2015, only 2.5 years after we opened it, our discovery of the bounty of Canterbury, our food community, and all our hard work had paid off. Roots was named the best restaurant in New Zealand. And that day I realized that everything was possible. That day I realized that you are the only one that can make your dreams come true. We decided one day to invite the person who made me who I am and to collaborate with us to celebrate our 5th anniversary. My mentor, Antonia Duris, the chef owner of Mugaritz. We had the opportunity to take them on a helicopter ride from Christchurch to North Canterbury, which is around 3-hour drive from here to there, and in a car. So the landscape was impressive. Mostly farmland and green, and the beach, the coastline is pristine. You know, rocky is kind of pure, and you can taste it. You can taste the purity sometimes in New Zealand. We got lucky enough to find some lamb that come from a very special farm in the South Island, the first farm in the South Island that produced lamb in the 1850s. Yeah, I think, Mugaritz was a life-changing experience. I applied to quite a lot of restaurants around Europe for an internship, and I was determined to do it for a year because I had the time and some savings, so it wasn't that a problem. But I wanted to learn from the best, so that's why I threw myself into the best restaurants in Europe. And when I got to Mugaritz, was one of the only ones that responded back to me, and I got to Mugaritz, and it was shocking to me, that culture of cooking. I didn't understand why so much time, why you had to go to the forest, why you had to walk for 3 hours finding things, raining, not raining, cold, not cold. So, the first 3 months were very challenging for me, and at one point I said, I came here to learn, so I should be more open-minded and accepting what they're teaching me. And that's in that click that I did in my head, just overnight, honestly, I said to me, I'm gonna just go back to work tomorrow and just accept what they're telling me, and that made me to see how the other side that I was comparing, the family style, how much they take care of each other in themselves, the reasons only why you go to nature, because if you want to have nature as beautiful as you have to take care of it, and the best way to understand it is being part of that nature, and that's why we did it. That's why they were going 3-4 hours, because they need to understand what they have around it and see how we can preserve it, how we can take care of it, and how we can talk about it, because the story is more sentimental and make you feel in that love thing about what you do, and that's it's very hard to measure, but love is strong passion, and that's very when you have it, it's good. The team from the beginning of Mugaritz are two people, Andoni and Dani Lassa, and these guys, yeah, pretty much Dani focused into the kitchen, but Andoni was a guy who decided to take the first steps, going out and look into the environment because, and like I said, nothing new. People in Basque Country live like that, nothing new, but to bring it up into a restaurant because restaurants are about cooking in the kitchen, not about picking flowers or things like that in the wild. That's not cooking, and that's other people's job, if there is that a job. But for us, if you can incorporate that in your in your work environment, is a better life. I feel, it make a more a lifestyle work environment that make you feel part of nature. That for us is very important to understand nature and to understand the people that are around the nature as well, because that's how we see community. I think Canterbury is still for me undiscovered. For me, Canterbury is massive. You can see the amount of land here. There's more land than city than houses, so we cannot reach everywhere. Canterbury is a big region, mostly dedicated to agriculture, and we know exactly, and we know that it's a lot more than what we know, and it's just finding it. For me, I think, like I said, if we can produce our main things like bread, for me bread is important. We can have the best flour, we can have the best dairy, the best vegetables. We are already starting to see how people grow new crops like hemp, for example. For me, it's going to be an important ingredient for our kitchen very soon. We see all the animals, the farm animals that you can see. Not many places can say we just get all our food from 300 kilometers around. It's not, it's a 5-hour drive to cross this region, and you can get it all here. Eat it all. So, and what we do in our kitchen is transform these ingredients into new things as well. It's for me, Canterbury is a food place. It should be defined as a food place because that's the main income on this region is producing food. It should be for me the best region to eat in New Zealand because we have it all here. We need more people cooking with these ingredients. That's what we need. Con comida más que con cocina.
Ya,
Yeah.
ya. Ah, ves, ya hemos acabado.
Yeah.
Ya hemos acabado algo. Ya, pero desde el punto de vista legal, quiero decir, desde el punto de vista legal. 1, 2, 1, 2, test, test.
No,
test.
it's not.
Because es lo mejor que alguien te pague por hacer tu trabajo.
Ya.
Yeah, and it's funny because I studied in Auckland when I just moved to New Zealand. I found people growing food in the backyards, and it was incredible produce. Oranges and things like that, so much tastier than the supermarket. After the earthquake, you don't have farmers market anymore. The roads were closed. We couldn't go to the city. We started looking into people's gardens or whatever nature produced by itself in the wild environment, and yeah, this is another market. Nobody's using this product that is growing wild or is growing in people's gardens, and people just think it's an ornamental pear tree or an ornamental apple tree. When it's food, is to eat, and people is not using it because I don't know. I still don't know why, but I think that market of discovering produce that is there, it's honestly just open your eyes. Yeah, that one. We are in an island. It's funny, to say. For me, it was very hard and challenging to trying to find fish or seafood in general. But we are in an island, so we know. I know the produce is there, and it's exactly that. The produce has been heated for some reasons. The produce has been sending away out of the country for some reason, but always the produce being here. I'm aware that you live in an island with a geography that New Zealand has, all of these rocks and things. You have a lot of seafood around here, and can go to the ocean and see by yourself. It's there. Food is there, and this is the potential that I saw that not many people was using it. Not many people was delivering that product that I knew was there. And after 5 years of this restaurant, I can say that I have discovered the whole new market of people wanting to eat like this. If we can survive like this as a restaurant, any household can survive like this as a household as well. And I don't mean in buying product. You are entitled to get pawa and clams from the beach, and if you want to go, and it's a thing. It's a social interaction on understanding where we are and the nature around us and why we had to take care of it. It's not. If you cannot buy it, well, go and get it because you are entitled to as well. So it's nothing stopping you to get this ingredient. There is no reason to say you cannot eat this because you can, and money is not. Sometimes it's not a barrier because it's not. You can go any beach not any beach, but where you find pawa, gather, legally you can gather 10 of them, and that's a lot of food. Fresh, alive. Like seafood when clams and pawa, all these things came live, and we had the chance to go fishing with them and taking the pawas out of the water. And I think when you understand nature and you appreciate that, I think when you understand how things are made and why an animal had the opportunity to reproduce in a clean environment, you appreciate that. And like I said, it's a special place where we are, and I think they never imagined it was that clean. It's important to see how New Zealand as well is probably it's not perfect, but nowhere else is perfect. But how we can make it better, more than perfect, I think, and that's the opportunity that New Zealand can be better in many ways with our food system, and that's what we want to talk about, because still for us was shocking to find all these ingredients, but was shocking as well that none of these ingredients were in the city, and that's the better way that we can do. We can bring back those ingredients that are unique to New Zealand to the cities for everybody, rather than just for specialty events, specialty restaurants, or for everybody else overseas. The question from the beginning was, we saw the opportunity to discover these ingredients and put it on the table, and everybody else will eat them, because at the end of the day, we don't want to be the ones cooking good food. We want everybody else cooking the same ingredients, because I want to go out as well. If we care a little bit more about our food, we will understand more about our food and how to get it, how to harvest it, how to avoid paying for it, because it's not about money. New Zealand has such an economy that allows you to harvest your own ingredients, and that's rare. Not many places let you do that, and it allows you to get enough to feed more than just yourself. So, fishing salmon, so all these things, and it's not making people work for the food, because it's an enjoyment and understanding what nature is doing for you. And that's how we start changing. That's how we start thinking and putting these ingredients into our table, because we give them a a classification that is important, is good for us, it's good for New Zealand to understand, and we care about it. And why not be feeling proud of what we have here?
I can only take 10, but one of you guys was in me as well, so that's good.
Needs to be done. Read it in garage. You too. Put up this thing. My reluctance doesn't make me feel bad after feeling shitty after a long day on the ocean. Man. Feeding yourself. Rewarding yourself.
Thank you guys, thank you everybody.
Yeah, thank you.
I born in Chile, grew up in Ecuador, and this is where I learned about cooking. You know, Ecuador with my mom. Since 2 years old, I started to traditional foods from South America, and when I turned 20, I moved to Chile just to get a cooking degree, and I spent 4 years there. And I think my journey around the world about food started in Chile. After that, I traveled for quite a few years, and one day I ended up in San Sebastian. I think what I learned in Mugaritz more than just cooking was the relationships that you build with your producers, growers, and people around you. I think that was the impressive thing for me, because in Mugaritz I learned how to be what it means for me to be a family in a restaurant. After that, everything changed, you know. I think so, and I realized that for probably Mugaritz was the best way to do this as a job, you know, and try to build a restaurant from scratch, and using the local produce, working with local producers and the best product you can find in the country. Christy is American and I'm from Chile, so I had to find a place where we can allow ourselves to be there for a long time in a legal way, and we found New Zealand. The only thing that we knew about New Zealand before coming to New Zealand was All Blacks and the Lord of the Rings. I think we get to understand the point that when people work for you, it's not because they want your money and take your knowledge. I think I completely, and that's what Andoni understood as well, that people that work for him is people that are giving their life to him for his own project and for his own benefit. So it's so much more than just paying a salary and giving some recipes or ideas. You know, I think and same on my way, you know, the people that are working with me is people giving their life to me and to my wife, to my family, to develop my crazy idea. And that's how we see it, you know. It's not only for money or learning, you know. We are doing something so strong for me that if we succeed, I'm gonna owe everything to these people, because we succeed together. I didn't succeed by myself, and that's what I think, and that's how that relationship of us with Mugaritz has maintained for the years. You know, we haven't talked to each other in 10 years, but we know who we are, and we know what we do, and we connect each other again. We start understanding, wow, you know, how far have you gone, after being in my place, and you have taken the best things of it, because they do a lot of bad things as well. But you have taken the best, and that's the reason that probably Mugaritz keep being alive and is working. You know, it's 20 years. Yeah, well, as a guest, you know, when you think you're inviting somebody to your house, we decide we want to invite you. Can you tell us what you want to cook with the ingredients that New Zealand has to offer? We never thought was a New Zealand made menu from a person coming from the other side of the world. So, and they decided the main dishes, their dishes, and we tried to fit around them. So to create a tasty menu was 8 courses with 6 snacks. So it's kind of a 14-course menu, and we went half-half. So there were 4 courses from Andoni, 3 snacks from Andoni, and other 4 courses from Roots, and another 3 snacks from Roots as well. Plus the wine pairing, all of them designed with New Zealand wines as well. I'm a seafood person, you know. I think the ocean provides quite a lot of ingredients for us, and same for the Basque Country, same culture. You know, when you live when you live by the ocean, you try to take by whatever it is from the ocean, and so it was a highly seafood menu, a highly seafood ingredients, and plus, you know, as how Andoni and Mugaritz cook, you know, very ingredient based dishes. So 1 or 2, 3 things in the dishes, nothing else. You know, very simple. You know, you want the ingredient to speak by itself, and that's what Andoni did. We did our side. We are a little bit more. We know what we have here, so we felt that we can put more into our dishes. You know, Andoni were more kind of secure. I want to use these ingredients, and trying to bring that up into flavor, and we use our ingredients in a very different way, trying to differentiate what we do, but still showing that connection. You know, and like the avocado and black garlic with the ashes, you know, things like that. Our bread, we make our own butter as well. All these things that are unique to us and mostly Canterbury produced. Yep. So you know, it's funny. The Andoni cooks a lot with traditions, and traditions for where he's from. You know, Spain, and some of his dishes are representation of. Old traditions, food traditions in Spain, like the crayfish with chicken. You know, it's a simple mix of flavors, but presented they're very different, like a crema catalana, which is kind of a custard, a savory custard of chicken with pieces of crayfish and chicken skin. You know, it's kind of all those flavors all pretty well together, but the presentation is pretty unique to Spain. You know, same with the lamb. You know, it's a lamb, sheep. These kind of animals are very highly regarded in Basque Country, and because of the mountains, so it's easy to raise them.
Hay un festival también cada invierno aquí. Cierran toda la calle y vienen como 10.000 personas. Festival de fuegos artificiales. Y ahí hacemos tacos.
Ah, qué guay.
Entonces todos estos recortes así...
Está todo cerrado, ¿no?
Todo cerrado, sí, todo cerrado. Hay 10.000, imposible hacer un servicio con tanta gente afuera.
Yeah.
Así que hacemos tacos con todos estos recortes.
So we use this lamb, and amazing lamb from the coastline in Canterbury, and as well, you know, just presenting the lamb. It was a lamb loin with the lamb belly. 2 ingredients, and that's it, and the juice and the sauce from the lamb. And then also the storm clams, they never have seen a clam that big as a storm clams in New Zealand, which is the size of your palm. The clams are from Cloudy Bay, which is up north in the South Island, the top of the South Island, and there, it's an abundance of these clams in Cloudy Bay, and for me, it's something to show what is impressive. Impressive. The size of that clam is impressive. The tongue that they have is super long, and it's so sweet and briny at the same time. Make it unique. And we wanted to present these things that they are shocking for them. And simple with a beef tendon and lemon gel. Same as pawa, that's another ingredient that we use on our dishes, the abalone. And the size of these things are unique because there is sometimes a good management on resources in New Zealand that let these things to grow at that size, and not many places in the world you can have that, and that was really special that they could see. Same with the crayfish, things like that. How come a country can allow to let the things to grow that big, and that's special, and they recognize that, because they travel all around the world and they don't see these things too much, and same with a lamb of that quality, and also the oyster kiss, which was pretty kind of a show dish where it was a nice bowl with chopped oyster, kind of a tartar of oyster, and then you had to pretty much lick it or eat it out of the ice without cutlery. Yeah, koras are native to New Zealand. There are another kind of freshwater crayfish around the world, but this is just native to here. The size is smaller as well. They have smaller claws, and unique as well. It's one of the only species that grows in rivers as well, other than eel. And we wanted to keep it. From us, it's special. It's just special things. They were produced only from us, from Blenheim. There is a little farm called Clearwater Farm, and they produce freshwater crayfish, and probably one of the only ones in the South Island. And it's amazing how, live, they were all kicking live, and we serve them as fresh as we can. We feel proud of where we are. For me, New Zealand has been the place that have made my dreams come true. And for me, it's always a way how we can say thank you to New Zealand, say thank you to everybody that have made this project. We feel part of this project came out of Mugaritz as well.
He taught me how to be a better person. Él me enseñó cómo ser mejor persona. Y para mí eso no se puede olvidar. Así que, muchas gracias a ti. Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias. Por el hecho de juntarse y creer en algo.
Just in the fact that they came together and they believed in something.
Hacen algo que es más importante que lo que cada uno de ellos de forma individual es.
They do something more important together than they would individually do.
Estos son los proyectos extraordinarios.
And those are the extraordinary projects.
Seguramente aquí talento individual.
Everyone here has individual talent.
Pero sumado se convierte en algo mucho más grande.
But together it's something much bigger.
Pero tú de la gente creativa aprendes a ser creativo.
From creative people you learn to be creative.
De la gente positiva aprendes a ser positivo.
From positive people you learn to be positive.
De la gente que sueña con la excelencia, tú aprendes a tratar de alcanzarla.
And people who dream of excellence, you try to reach excellence as well.
Vamos a hacer lo mejor que podamos.
And we're going to try the best that we can.
Luego nos tropezaremos, nos caeremos,
We'll probably
romperemos
fall
cosas, será un
and
desastre.
drop things and stuff, but we'll try.
Pero vamos a ponerle corazón, de verdad. Muchas felicidades por esta reciente historia.
Congratulations, and you're making history.
Thank you.
Have fun. Have fun.
Ya que estoy con los años...
We couldn't believe when he said yes to an invitation, and pretty much come and see this country. We will blow your mind away, that's for sure, and we did, and that thing, you know, not many people see New Zealand in that way, and you know, and we feel so proud of being here, so proud of being around this food nature that we want to show it to the world and show it to every single one in New Zealand as well, because it's unique what we have here.
Wow, check that one.